dance with my mother.
The Jamaica Information Service salutes all fathers. Happy Father's Day to the countless Jamaican dads who are encouraging and supporting their children to be productive citizens. As the pages turn, we will honor the nation's fathers. And the Grade 6 Achievement Test results were released to schools a few days ago. We talk with the Education Minister. Hi, I'm Arroyo Eubanks, and you're tuned into Jamaica Magazine.
Another dance with him. I'd play a song that would never, ever end. How I'd love, love, love to dance with my father again.
No, son. A verb is an action word.
Parents need to become more involved in their children's education.
Parents are the first and in many cases the most important teachers.
Read with your children. Review their schoolwork. Visit their school.
Tapping and rapping and slapping, I said.
Nice! High five! Woo!
A good education will never decay.
There is always celebration and, unfortunately, disappointment when the Grade 6 Achievement Test results are released. The main contention is usually about the placement for students who are not assigned to their preferred schools. To bring clarity to this and other issues, Education Minister Reverend Ronald Thwaites is this week's guest in studio.
Thanks for joining us for Issues and Answers. I'm Ian Boyne. The GSAT results are out, so the discussion on the education system is continuing. We have with us the Minister of Education, the Reverend Ronald Thwaites. He will answer the questions that you have in your minds. We thank you so much for your company.
Minister, good to have you on the show. Good news and some bad news with the results. Our students have done better in several areas, but have fallen back on math. Your general comments and assessment.
There's been improvement, but there's much more to go. The fact that the students adjusted to the changes in the curriculum on social studies and science is a good sign, because we are emphasizing more critical thinking, questions that elicit the judgment and the mental ability of the students. That's good. And that's, of course, the direction we're going to eventually phase the GSAT into the primary exit test in 2017-2018 completion. The mathematics results cause great concern. The fact is that it wasn't any more difficult an exam than before, but the questions were expressed in a way that caused you to think rather than regurgitate.
Rote.
Yes. And that has shown that we have to change our method of teaching mathematics, and we have to encourage thinking, judgment in ways that perhaps was not called for before, and we're going to do that.
And I know a great deal of emphasis, Minister, was placed on reform of the approach to mathematics training, and you had a special intervention program where math was concerned. Was it that you didn't anticipate this? Was it that this was not addressed in the methodology?
I think that the intervention really started last September with the assignment of just short of 100 coaches to the schools that needed it most. Now, you wouldn't see the effect of that yet as quickly as this. What you are beginning to see is the effect of the much longer intervention in English language, which is showing an upward arc of performance there. Still not where we needed to go, but on the right direction, because we've had coaches through the USAID programs, through Ministry of Education's endeavors, in order to help up that subject. Now, What happened was that we stressed literacy so much that in some schools, the report is that they were de-emphasizing the instructional time in math. Now we have to catch up and we have to even that and hold it there.
Minister, are some of the untraditional schools, some of the schools that don't have the esteem, have those schools been doing much better?
At the secondary level?
Surprising results at the primary level?
At the primary level, yes. The difference is strong leadership.
Strong leadership.
Instructional leadership.
Makes a difference.
Makes a big difference. And also, wherever there is a good combination of parents and teachers. I could name the schools, the Calabar Junior High, the Kensington, many others like that are doing well because they have strong PTAs. They have, when the children are absent, the guidance counselors and the principals phone up or go out and make sure the child is there. When there is a challenge of whatever nature, they speak to it very often, remedying it right there. This makes a difference. At the high school level, it's most interesting. The schools like Holland High, not a traditional high school, in Trelawney, 10 years old only, and yet doing remarkably well in terms of deportment, manners of the children, their presence, their involvement in uniform groups, and also in their examination results. Doing better than many of the traditional schools here in Boyne in the area. Yes. Holy Trinity High, a huge lurch for the better. Denby in Maypen, Mona High, Papine. These are schools that are on the up, and there are many, many more. Now, I'm encouraging parents to, in their selection, look at the school which is schools which are really doing well, rather than following traditional, may I say, prejudices, and ensure also that the convenience, the closeness to home where that is appropriate, is part of your selection mechanism.
And of course, the ministry's thrust, therefore, would be to ensure that schools close to homes are of a high quality, so people don't have to think about sending their children to long distances just to get the quality.
Take South St. Andrew, for example. Traditionally, the two high schools there have not been highly regarded, Charlie Smith and Trenchtown. And under the aegis of the Member of Parliament and a cohort of educators, what we're doing is strengthening Charlie Smith to become a center of excellence in secondary education, adding facilities, upgrading teachers, leadership, etc., while Trenchtown, the present Trenchtown High will be used as a tertiary institution, which I think is going to help the community also. All of the $600 to $700 million that the Ministry of Education is spending on capital improvements this year is going to those schools which have traditionally been less preferred, in order that they may be lifted up to offer the best opportunity to those children.
Excellent. We're talking education today. We have with us the Minister of Education, the Reverend Ronald Thwaites. We'll take a break, but we'll be right back.
Safety are what we are dealing with, yo. Respect authority and keep your dreams alive. School has to study, not fi fight. Hey, we need each other. Safe school are what we are dealing with. Yeah, safety is a human right. Don't destroy your own destiny.
Building safer schools in safer communities.
Play it safe, grab a book, link a friend, talk out loud.
A message brought to you by the Safe Schools Task Force.
Safe school are what we are dealing with.
This message was paid for by the European Union.
We're talking education today, and we have with us the Minister of Education, the Reverend Ronald Thwaites. Minister, you've been talking about combining primary school, rationalizing the resources in primary schools, because there are a number of primary schools that have what? Fewer than
100 students.
Fewer than 100 students.
May I give you some?
I find that so unbelievable.
Yeah. We have about 830 something primary schools. We have about 220 of those which have less than 100 students.
220?
Yes. Population has shifted. We should be grateful for the heritage where after slavery, people cohered around the church, a school, no matter how humble, which has been built out over the many years. That's a good thing to have, but we have to be open to change now, and some of the institutions simply are not serviceable. The average cost for the state of a unit of primary education a year is about $90,000. I visited a school in a rural parish last week where, because of numbers and the static amount of teachers that used to be needed for the establishment, the unit cost is $463,000. Now, I plead through through this medium that people must understand that we have to be much more efficient. So what we're saying is, not arbitrarily meeting with the communities, the political representatives, the churches, and we're saying, can we take those students from Alps in South Trelawney, which is no longer viable, and can we send them to Ulster Spring? We will offer them a transportation allowance for as long as they're in school, so that the parents are not burdened. And we're not leaving the community bereft of a school, because that very often is the last straw. It's being turned into a place where they can be training in agriculture, courtesy of the Member of Parliament and our ministry and others. And so we're trying to find alternative uses for strong community facilities. The teachers will be reassigned, so there's no loss of employment. But we cannot continue to prop up structures which, however serviceable 50 or 100 years ago, now need to be transformed.
Also, Minister, there needs to be rationalization in terms of the deployment of teachers.
This is something which is urgent. Yes. The new legislation, which will make that possible, I hope will come towards the end of 2015. And I want to make it clear.
Much resistance?
We've discussed this fully with the JTA, and it's not a situation where, as with other services, you can be transferred from Negril to Moran Point without notice. But if we can create a parish, or what we call a quality education service, a center, which allows for teachers who may have a skill in a particular subject to be available not just to the school where they're tenured, but to be asked to serve in another area. That clearly improves the efficiency of it. We're trying it in St. Thomas first, with 3 good schools, but schools which need help: Paul Bogle, Seaforth and Robert Lightman, all within a 10-mile curtilage of each other, and where we're trying to bring them under a common management and a common pool of educators that can speak to the needs, varying but particular needs, of the children in that area.
Okay. Minister, what are the things that we're doing right in education?
I hope we're doing much better in early childhood education now. We've moved the percentage of early childhood teachers who have some training, some qualification, to close to 40% from below 20%. We're offering a highly enhanced program of nutrition, which will take on stronger legs towards the end of this year. Many of our children come to school hungry, and especially at that early childhood stage, adequate nutrition, locally based nutrition, sir, very important. Common curriculum is very significant too. So that a lower work in progress is, I think, going much better. We're amalgamating some basic schools that aren't strong into strong infant schools that government can support better. I hope that we're going to see the right things happening in literacy and numeracy, outcoming from the grade 4 tests at the end of this month, the 30th of June, 1st July. And one thing that I'm very happy about is 2 things really. In the secondary level, we should move about 30 more schools off the shift system during this year. And also there is a sturdy infusion of technical and vocational competencies. Once thought as being the what left, the second best. Now 110 this year of our 168 secondary schools have stronger programs of technical and vocational nature to match with the strictly academic subjects. And if we can achieve that, our students are going to be more work ready and more attuned with the modern economy.
Absolutely. Right.
So those are some of the things that I hope are going well.
Just briefly, Minister, tertiary education.
And
Again, good and not so good. Jamaica still lags behind the rest of the Caribbean in the percentage of our population accessing tertiary education. We have some 50 university programs in Jamaica now. That's good. The aim of the government is to move. Can you imagine? 60 years ago, we had just a fledgling
yes.
UWI and VMICO. The idea is to create a pathway for every Jamaican to access tertiary education at their pace and within their means. Climb the ladder with me. High school education, good if you've got the subjects to matriculate. If not, the alternate high school diploma, which Foundation for Lifelong Learning is rolling out. That has American and Canadian accreditation, please. From there to one of the multidisciplinary colleges. The teachers' colleges aren't strictly teachers' colleges. They're moving into a broad phase. You can go there. There's the Open University, which is virtual space, and then from there into any other professional program. Now, if you start from very low, be from Bullfoot, as I say, you are, if you want to, able to move right up. The good news is that the Student Loan Bureau has enough funds this year to satisfy the needs of every estimated borrower that comes to them. They're now serving 96% of all applicants. That's good.
Remarkable. Thank you very much, Minister. Minister of Education, the Reverend Ronald Thwaites, always giving us a lot of information on the critical area of education. We thank you for your company. Until next week, Ian Bourne wishing you a pleasant day.
Some marina, you know. Yeah?
Yeah, man, I have the package 6,000.
6,000.
Yeah.
How much I want?
Yeah, man, 2 bays I want, man.
Yeah, man, no one else.
Grand,
yeah, man. Same. Alright,
what want, cat?
You don't know, I sit downtown the other day there. Oh. All the brethren, them man, we buy and sell marina. One of them I sell a 6-pack for $1,000 and the next one I sell one for $200.
So where buy?
Buy 5 of them for $1,000. Think them can't rob me.
So Uncle Fancy, is the same $1,000 you would spend to get the 6? Seriously?
Tell them again now, my math brains.
Math count.
Math count.
Sponsored by the Ministry of Education.
Those who should know will tell you that a child can excel at whichever school he or she goes. Don't believe us? Well, let's hear what they have to say.
Okay, my name is Elon Bennett. I attended Kingston Technical High School.
Good morning, everyone. I'm a past student of the Wolmer's Girls School, proudly. My name is Denise Reed.
My name is Keisha Nugent. I'm a past student of Wolmer's Girls School. Our motto, Age Quad Gaze. Whatever you do, do it to the best of your ability.
My name is Vicky Miller. I am a proud graduate of Tivoli Gardens Comprehensive High School.
My name is Keita Campbell, Tivoli Gardens High School. Motto, studies transform into character.
Good morning, students. Good morning, everyone. My name is Everton Pessoa, and I'm a graduate of the #1 school in Kingston, Jamaica, Norman Manley High School. Yes.
Boys and girls, I am not contending my school because I know you all know that Dintil Technical High School is the best high school in Jamaica. Okay? And I just want to tell you that you can strive for whatever you want to be.
It's not where you go, it's what you do.
Clap them, boys and girls. I'm gonna ask.
The teachers came up with this idea to have a uniform day so that the students who
generally do the GSAT examination so that they can feel proud of themselves. It doesn't matter what school they are placed. Sometimes when the result comes out, they feel as if they are worthless. You know, they didn't work real hard and they don't feel where they have been placed satisfying to them. Some will cry, some feel as if they won't reach anywhere. But we want to encourage them.
So we want them to understand that if they look around, they will see different teachers from different schools. Some teachers went to Denham Town, some went to Immaculate, some went to Wolmer's, but we're all here and we're all excellent teachers.
Most students want to transfer from the school they went. Like, for example, if you go to a school like Denham Town or Tivoli, it doesn't matter. You have to just study hard and focus on your goals and achieve what you learned in class and just to be focused.
But I went to Denham Town and persons looked down on Denham Town. I am now a teacher at this school. When I just left Denham Town, I went to many places to ensure that I got all the subjects I needed. Now I hold a CPS, what is that? I'm a certified professional secretary. I moved from there. I now hold 2 diplomas in education. I'm a primary school teacher. I'm also a trained guidance counselor. I moved on from there. I went to UWI, that's the University of the West Indies. I'm a holder of a bachelor's degree in psychology and political science. Sometime later, I moved on to do my master's degree at Florida International University. So I now hold a master's degree in curriculum and instruction. Students, how far you climb, how much you see, how far you reach depends on you. Let nothing stop you. You can conquer the world by doing what it is you need to do.
Now, whichever school grade 6 you are placed, you're going to go there and do your best. Your mind is a very strong tool. You might say to yourselves, I am dunce, but there's no such word as being dunce. You're going to tell yourself, I can make it. Visualize what you want to become. If you want to become a teacher, see yourself as a teacher. If you want to become a doctor, see yourself as a doctor.
Well, it's a constant work and a constant encouragement to the students because, you know, sometimes they feel as if they don't go to the traditional high school, you know, they feel inferior. But I'm here to tell them that you don't have to feel inferior because I went to Norman Manley. So it's not where you go, it's what you do where you are.
I think this was a very good idea because in doing this, it helps to motivate the children and help them to know that it doesn't matter the school that they attend, they can come up and achieve great things in life.
I feel great because it motivates the children to let them know that if it's not the school that you go, it's what you go there and do, and that if you pass for a non-traditional high school, you can still do the same as if you pass for a traditional high school.
I feel overwhelmed because the teacher showed us that even though if you pass for a traditional or non-traditional, only thing you have to do is go to your high school and make the best out of it because you can become what you want in life only if you put your brain to it and work hard.
I feel very happy and good that no matter which school you go, you can still go there and do your best and achieve your goals.
It's not where you go, it's what you do. Keep watching Jamaica Magazine.
Like your father's love.
I personally never knew what it was like to really say, that's my father, I can be proud of my father. I got myself into a little bit of trouble with the law and was locked up for a time, so I never got to finish high school. But then, during that time, meeting with so much other these, because that was when I was 16 and I got locked up, and first I was at Arthurtree police station. And the men that I was around, even though society might deem them unfit to be, they gave me a lot of good advice. We never have our father, but right now we are going to give you some fatherly advice. Right now you don't look in that direction here, because I was looking in that direction like, because that was what I saw around me. Gangs, violence, this, that, because I'm from Walton Park area. So that was all I saw. So that was all after being my grandfather gone and all like that, that was all I saw fit. I say, well, them man they survive, so maybe that way them me forgot to survive, even though I was going to a nice high school where kind of teach me. But the figure of a father was not there. So my mind was trained towards that. And I felt in myself that it was right, because I didn't have that little angel on the right shoulder telling me, no son, that's not the way to go about things. If you want to be successful in life, and if you want to do, I had my mother there, but to me, living with so many women around me, don't seeing a father, don't seeing even a male figure to say, emulate or call him a role model or anything like that. I just look otherwise, and the look that I look otherwise, I look in the wrong direction. But because I'm very resilient and I'm very determined, and I'm not hard to take advice from other people, it ended up brought me back on the right track after going through all of that.
Research done in the United States, United Kingdom, and in the Caribbean indicate that fatherless children are 11 times more likely to display violent behavior, 9 times more likely to run away from home, becoming victims or perpetrators of crime, twice as likely to drop out of school, 6 times more likely to have behavioral disorders, 9 times more likely to become gang members, 6 times more likely to end up in prison, and more than twice as likely to experience teen pregnancies, among other things.
We now have a Father's Day. When we started in 1991, it was, men considered it when we went on the street to speak to men, they called it National Battering Day. There are various terms for it, National Harassment Day, it just wasn't Father's Day for them. Today, we are certain that Father's Day accounts for about 15% of commercials as Mother's Day. Fathers have 4 roles that we've always embraced. We protect, we provide, we nurture, and of course, we are role models. Yes? These are the things we're trying to change. If we have 4 roles, you cannot assess us on one. Money. Let's work together and see how we can get every family to have access to both parents. God bless.
When I was a child, before life removed all the innocence, my father would lift me high and dance with my mother and me, and then spin me around till I fell asleep. Then up the stairs he would carry me, and I knew for sure I was loved. If I could get another chance, another walk, another dance with him.
As you start a new week, here's a piece of advice. My father gave me the greatest gift anyone could give another person. He believed in me. Words of successful American basketball player Jim Valvano. This is where we close the pages on today's magazine. Thanks for watching. And don't forget, we value your feedback. So drop us a line. Send an email to jamaicamagazine@jis.gov.jm. You may also follow us on Twitter @JISNews. On behalf of the team here at the JIS, I'm Arroyo Eubanks, wishing you a wonderful Father's Day.
This has been a production of the Jamaica Information Service, the voice of Jamaica.